Shalom, Kol Halal Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us His truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yahshua. I'm back with the WW3 Daily Update. Welcome and salutations to you. This is going to be quick, the first of 5 days this week for the update. And let's see. Jeremiah 49, we'll start right here. The judgment on Edom. Let's go down to 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom. Okay? All right, Esau is the end of the world. How's the end of the world going to come? Through this war, World War III. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Speaking of the kingdom of heaven that's going to be established after mutually assured destruction with these nuclear bombs. All right? Now, continue. And his purpose is that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Okay? You Edomites. These are the smartest of the Edomites, the Temanites, the Germans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who's the least of the flock? Amalek. The people over in the land that they don't have any claim to, calling themselves Israel. Those are Amalekites. All right, they're Edomites from the dukes of just like the 12 tribes of Israel. Well, Edom has his own, the dukes of Edom, right? Teman is one of them. Amalek is one of them. Okay, and what are they doing? They're fighting against each other right now. Okay, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. All right, that's talking about the Israelis, all right, who are not Israelites. They're Edomites. Okay, so let's watch this. Watch them fighting amongst each other. Russia to expel small hat agency for data theft, world latest news, WION. Okay, this is today. As the war in Ukraine rages on, around 16,000 Russians reportedly are heading for Israel. That's more than double. They're going to explain this. All right, so let's listen to this real quick. It's what, 3 minutes? And then we'll get a couple of scriptures to close.
As the war in Ukraine rages on, tens of thousands of Russians are evacuating the...
No, this has to do with war. They know what's coming. They're like this, we're the hell out of here. It's going to get bad in this war. All right? We're out of here. Where can we run to that's safe? You're going to Western Europe? That's safe? The least of the flock is safe.
As the war in Ukraine rages on, tens of thousands of Russians are evacuating the country. Over the past 6 months, many of them moving to countries in Eastern Europe. But around 16,000 of them reportedly are heading for Israel. That's more than double the number of Russians who emigrated to the country last year. Amid the movement of people, Russia is now trying to expel an organization called the Jewish Agency from its borders. Our Middle East correspondent Jody Cohen has the details.
According to Israeli media, Russia is claiming that the Jewish Agency has been breaching local data storage and protection laws. At first, the Jewish Agency apparently believed the issue could be resolved through dialogue. However, the situation escalated and the Jewish Agency alerted Israel's foreign ministry to get involved. Israel offered to send a delegation to Moscow for meetings on Monday. However, this has been delayed as it appears Russia hasn't given the go-ahead for such talks. The Israeli government doesn't appear to believe the case is about data protection at all. Rather, Israel's Diaspora Affairs Minister Nachman Shai has suggested that it's actually about punishing Israel for its stance on the Ukraine war. While Israel has not joined international sanctions against Russia, Israel's new interim Prime Minister Yair Lapid has accused Russia of war crimes, and Israel voted to suspend Russia from the UN Human Rights.
Okay, so what's going on here is they're at war. Okay? When World War III is declared, are these two going to be allies? Of course not. Get the hell out. What does this say? Russia to expel Jewish agency. All right. What do they do with the diplomats and at the consulates? First thing they do is send their ass home. All right, you got to get the hell out of Russia. Well, that's what's going on right here, and they're decorating it, right? But the situation with Nancy Pelosi, all right, lets you know here comes World War III. That quick.
Council.
The images and testimony from Ukraine are horrific. Russian forces committed war crimes.
Lapid.
You hear this? Here it is. You over there killing people, right? The so-called Palestinians who are not Philistines. Those are Arabs over there. The sons of Ishmael. Okay? The Philistines, right, are the sons of Ham. All right? Noah's son Ham. The sons of Ishmael come out of Noah's son Shem. All right? Where you get the term anti-Shemitic. So just like what's her name? Helen Thomas. Helen Thomas was fired because she said, well, what should the Israelis do? She said, get the hell out of Palestine. And then they said, well, that sounds anti-Semitic. She said, but I'm a Shemite. I'm Shemitic. How can I be anti-Shemitic when I'm a Semite or a Shemite? Okay, so the bullshit is coming apart. All right. Now, how can she be Shemitic, meaning she's the son of Shem, which she is, and be a Palestinian, a Philistine, who are the sons of Ham? So, who's who in America? Who's who on the world stage? Okay? The Edomites are Shemitic. The Israelites are Shemitic. They all come out of the Moabites, the Chinese are Shemitic. The Japanese are Shemitic. They're Semites. Okay? Semite, Shemite, same thing. Noah's son was named Shem. It means name, the name. Okay? If you descend from Shem, you're Shemitic or Semitic. So how can you then be anti-Semitic if you're Shemitic? See how that works? The trickery and the bullshit is over. Only the truth. So Helen Thomas, knowing that she's an Arab, said, how can I be anti-Semitic when I'm Semitic? Letting you know that she's not a Philistine or a Palestinian because the Palestinians are Hamitic. See how that works? So the bullshit is up.
Has now warned Moscow that expelling the agency would have a grave impact on relations between the two countries, including potentially recalling the Israeli ambassador to Moscow and increasing Israeli support for Ukraine. WION reached out to Russia's embassy in Israel, but was told that they are, quote, not commenting on this issue. The idea of expelling the agency that helps Jews emigrate to Israel is clearly an emotive one. That's because for years, Jews were forbidden from leaving the former Soviet Union, effectively held prisoner in their own country, sacked from their jobs, and even sent to prison if they tried to leave. In response to this latest issue, the Diaspora Affairs Minister said that Russian Jews will not be held hostage by the war in Ukraine. In the meantime, a hearing on the case has been scheduled for Thursday in Moscow, and Prime Minister Lapid's office has confirmed that Israel is ready to send a delegation to Russia as soon as it receives Russian approval for the talks. This is Jodie Cohn for WION, World is One.
So what's all the fighting about? Huh? What's all the fighting really about? Here's what it's about. All right. Khazarian. Who are the Khazars? Tsars? Who are the Khazars? Khazarian Empire. This fight goes back to the Khazarian Empire. When these people, all right, they converted to Judaism, right? These Edomites were fighting among themselves. All right, the same fight that Russia and Ukraine are the same Edomites, the Khazarian Empire, fighting against each other. That goes back to that ancient fight. So let's see if they're gonna give us some information on it. Look at this: Turkic Jews, Khazars, Turkic Jew. Look, Khazar, history of the Jewish Turkic nomads. History of the Khazars. Who are the Khazars? This is what that fight over there is about. Okay? And here's the thing. None of them are Israelites. These are Edomites fighting amongst each other. Okay? What is Israel doing with the Azov battalion? Okay? In the Ukraine. Israel. Okay, so if you, of course, the thumbs down are going to come, right? Because you don't know the history of that fight over there. The Ukrainian-Russian war that's going on right now goes back to the Khazarian Empire. You see this word Jews? Okay? They were over there part of the Khazarian Empire, right? And you had the so-called Christians coming from one side, the so-called Muslims coming from the other side. They said, well, you got to make a choice between Christianity and Islam. And they said, we choose Judaism. So they converted, the Edomites converted to Judaism. They weren't born Israelites. This word Jew is short for Judah, one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? So what's the fight about? The fight goes back to this. The Khazars. Okay? Now, why, if the Jews, right? Why are the Jews siding with the Nazis? Okay? Even more confusion, right? Let's see. Azov Battalion. Is it Lion? Nazi Jews. Where does this take you? That's a year ago, 4 months ago. What is the Azov Battalion? Okay. Doctor, well, look at this. New American Nazis. Okay, wait. All right, is this Azov? This is here. Neo-Nazi threat in new Ukraine. Is not Vladimir Putin saying we have to denazify the Ukraine? Yes, he is saying that. So Nazis exist in this war down in the Ukraine. And guess who's fighting with them? Israel. What sense does this make? This is 4 years ago. Israel is arming Ukraine's blatantly neo-Nazi militia, the Azov Battalion. Wait a minute. Israel is helping the Nazis? Where's the truth in? How does the truth play in? I thought that the Nazis were killing the Jews. Well, right here we have the Jews arming the Nazis. Explain that, please. Explain it. Should Jews support Ukraine? They are. They're arming them. They're over there fighting together. The so-called Jews, who are actually Amalekites, Edomites, right? And so are the Ukrainians. So are these Nazis. They're Edomites too. And so is Vladimir Putin. They're Edomites too. And these Edomites are fighting each other. That's what's going on. Because the Israelites, okay, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, are the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, okay, not these Edomites. This ancient fight goes back to the Khazarian Empire, okay? And what it's doing is outing who these people are, all right? Just because you converted to Judaism doesn't make you an Israelite. You have to be born an Israelite, okay? And let's prove that. Let's go to Romans 9. And let's listen to the Apostle Paul break it down for you. All right? Romans 9 and 1. I say the truth in whom Mashiach, I lie not, my kindness and continual sorrow in my heart, for I wish that myself were accursed from Christ, for my brethren, for his brothers, my kinsmen, his kinfolk, according to the flesh, meaning you have to be born into what he's about to say. My brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites. Paul is an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. Okay? To whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants, the old and the new covenant, the giving of the law was given to Israel, and the service of the Most High, and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Yahushua came. Christ came. Christ came for who? Israelites according to the flesh. Okay? Christ came for Israelites according to the flesh. Period. That's what Paul is saying. Okay? Period. Period. Okay? What does this have to do with World War III? This is what it has to do with World War III. Okay? World War III is God bringing together the armies of the world to destroy them, bringing them all together to set up an ambush to destroy all the armies of the world. Then what he's going to do is he's going to bring in from the fourth dimension, okay, the angels and the one you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahushua. They're going to come in and make quick work of all the armies of the world. Then they're going to set up the kingdom of heaven, in which The Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are going to be in rulership. And this is what it's saying right here. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. Saying the same thing. Jacob and Israel. And set them in their own land. Where's that? The land of Israel. Right? Because whoever's over there stole the land, much like what happened right here in America with the Native Americans, who are Israelites. Whoever stole that land, Palestinians were over there. Somebody went over there in 1948 and started killing people. Did they not? Still doing it now. So you have the audacity to say something about what Russia is over there doing. Russia war crime. What about what's going on in Israel right now? Those are not war crimes. That's just how this devil gets down. All right? So anyway, let me explain it real quick. All right? For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. All Israelites. And the people shall take them, take who? The other nations, and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them. Who's them? All the other nations shall possess them in the land of the Lord in Israel for slaves. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. Who had us in captivity? Huh? Do I got to show it? Do we have to go down this road? And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. Okay? This is what it's talking about. Okay? The script is going to be flipped. There's a movie called Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. All right? It's going to be called Trading Places. All right? Who had us in captivity? Our enemies had us in captivity. All right? Well, we're going to take them captives, whose captives we were. Let's go back. It's just what the Bible says. Don't be mad at me. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. The house of Israel shall possess them, slaves, in the land of the Lord for slaves. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, who had us in captivity. And they shall rule over their oppressors. Who oppressed us? Who's oppressing us to this day? Huh? Hmm? Who is oppressing us to this day? Got too many pages open here. What happened to the Native Americans? That yoke of iron around, isn't it? What happened to the Native Americans? Were they not oppressed? Are they being oppressed right now? You get up on their reservation. You get in that ghetto. You get in that barrio. Get out the car. Put your hands. Pop, 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 pop. This is why World War III is happening. God is doing something here. He's working a work. All right? This, from here to here, is discussing the kingdom of heaven that's going to come right after World War III. We're going to build it up. Get mad all you want to. God said, Joel 3:2, I will gather all nations. I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Who parted the land? Where is God's land? It's Israel. Who's over there right now? Okay? Whoever is over there parted the land. You take this part, I'll take this part until I kill you all and run you up out of here since 1948. People calling yourself Philistines, which are not the sons of Ham, and neither are we, the children of Israel. We're Edomites. We stole this land like we stole the land from the Native Americans and put them in captivity. All right? What did God say he's going to do? I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Why? To put them all down at the same time, leading them into an ambush. There will I judge them for harming my people, my special possession, for scattering my people among the nations, and for dividing up my land. Who's over there in the land of Israel fighting over that land? That is not theirs. It's telling you right here. Okay? They threw dice to decide which of my people would be their slaves. Huh? Who did that? Who did that? Who did this? These are God's chosen people. See them with that yoke of iron? We could go through the Bible and prove all things right out of the Bible. Okay? So anyway, the purpose for World War III is for God to do what? To destroy all the armies of the world. How's he going to do it? With the angels and the one that you ignorantly call Jesus, when they come out of the sky from the fourth dimension and start tearing shit up with those so-called UFOs, war chariots that can't be stopped. Right? Nobody's going to have a chance. Why? Because this is what God is doing. He's going to restore the prosperity of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They're going to rule in the new world order that's called the kingdom of heaven. And it is what it is. Okay? All of the armies of the world are going to try to fight against them. Revelation 19:19. Then I saw the beast and the kings of the world and their armies gathered together to fight against the one sitting on the horse, Jesus, whose name in the Hebrew is Yahushua, and his army, the angels. And they got their ass kicked. All right, so that's good enough for today. Probably went a little long. See you tomorrow. We hope that the elect will edify you brothers and few sisters. With that, we can say shalom.